Hello, I'm Matt and welcome to Badger Workshop. Over the years I've developed a bit of a collection of camera equipment, and this is all the stuff I don't use, so I'd like a way of displaying it. I get a plan drawn out on some paper and check to make sure all the bits are going to fit before I start building anything. In the garage I've got this old bit of door frame and I've been wondering what to do with it, and I think there should be just about enough wood in there to make this shelf. This is the kind of thing that gets chucked away all the time, but there's quite a lot of usable wood in this. It's just a bit of work to actually prepare it all. First I get all the hardware taken off. Unfortunately my metal detector had stopped working, so I just carefully went over it to make sure I hadn't missed any screws or nails. I want to be able to get this planed down, but it's a bit too big to be able to comfortably manage, so I'm going to get a bit cut off. And it's nice to be able to use the handsaw I restored a few weeks ago. So I thought this was made up of a few bits of timber and some moulding, all glued and nailed together, but actually looking at it, it's one solid piece. So I'm just going to have to plane it to get it all square. I start by getting one surface and one edge done. Then I can reconfigure the machine and get the bits passed through the thicknesser to clean up the other two sides. I want to resaw this and get 3 boards out of each piece. So I do this on the table saw, passing it through, going from both sides and raising the blade a little each time until I'm all the way through. I then do a final pass through the thicknesser just to clean off any saw marks. So now I can use my plans as reference to get the saw set up and get all the bits cut to length. I set up the stop block on the mitre gauge and then I can start cutting the pieces. With all the bits cut, I just get them quickly laid out to make sure it's all going to go together as I intend. I seem to have all the bits, so I just give them all a quick sand down. I take the piece that's going to be the bottom of the rack over to my plans and transfer out the marks where the bits are going to join together. I then use this first piece as reference to transfer the lines to the piece that's going to go above it. I can then mark a centre line down the pieces. Now I want to join these together in a way I've not tried before, and that's using biscuits. So I've got the smaller 0 size, so I get the machine set to that. I get a speed square on the wood on the lines I've marked, and I can get that clamped into place. I'm going to use this as a fence. I get the biscuit joiner lined up on that centre line I've drawn and pushed up against the fence, then I can plunge it and cut the slot. When I've got this done in all of the longer pieces, then I need to do the same thing, plunging into the centre of the shorter dividing pieces. With all the slots cut, I get some biscuits put in and I go for a dry fit. I just want to make sure everything lines up properly before I actually glue it up. It actually seems to have worked okay. So the end pieces I don't want to attach with biscuits. I want to screw them on to actually pull everything tight. So I mark out where the screws need to go, and then I can get the holes for them drilled with a pilot drill and a countersunk bit. Now I can get it put together for a final time, but this time with some glue. This glue sets up in 10 minutes, but because I had the dry fit, I'm pretty confident I can get it done in that time. On anything bigger, I would definitely go with a glue with a longer setup time. With all the dividers installed, I can get it laid down and a couple of clamps on just to pull everything tight. I can then get some glue applied to the ends and those end pieces put on with some screws. All those screw holes were countersunk so that I can hide them, so now I'm going to cut some plugs to do that. I get them popped out with a screwdriver, then I can get some glue put into all the holes, a plug put in and tapped down into place. When the glue's dried, I'd normally come back with a pull saw, but I was feeling lazy today, so I just used the bandsaw to trim all these plugs flush. Then I can just give it one more quick sand down. I want to be able to hang this on the wall, so I mark out where I'm going to put some brass keyhole plates. I use a small pull saw to cut along my lines and then remove all the rest of the waste with a chisel. The plates can then be installed just with a couple of screws on the back. To finish, I'm using some badger wax. This is definitely turning into the new Danish oil for me. So I get it brushed on, rubbed in, wait about 10 minutes, then I come back with a microfiber cloth and buff it all off. So that's it all done. Now I just need to get it installed. So I position it on the wall, mark out the holes where the two plates are, get those drilled and some plugs put in. Then it can just be attached to the wall with a couple of screws. So now I've got somewhere to store all my unused camera equipment, and I think it looks quite cool up on the wall. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons, and please subscribe for more videos.